Is the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we got interviews with some of the participant manufacturers and others here at today's show. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2024 Jeep Wrangler 392.
Oh.
And the 392 is not how long it is.
It's not a wheelbase.
It's not a wheelbase. It's not the weight. It's the engine size.
Ah.
And it's a hot rod. They put that engine in the Super B. And let me tell you something. It's bad. It's real bad. Jeff has the Motor Minute on this segment of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley has joined us fresh from the bed this morning, and I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us. Thank you very much. In the hot seat right now, our first interview of the day. Can't imagine why. We're going to make this the Jeep segment. Why?
Okay.
Because we are in the Stellantis booth, and more specifically in the Jeep booth here at the Houston Auto Show. We've got all of the Jeeps here, and they've got Camp Jeep right over there.
Right yonder.
Right yonder. Right,
and they're lining up already.
Oh, yeah.
They opened the doors, and folks just rushed over to this area.
That's right. It's like Disneyland. You know when they first opened the gate at Disneyland and everybody rushes to their favorite place? You know, Pirates of the Caribbean or Space Mountain or whatever it is.
The restroom.
Don goes to Tiny Tots Town or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. I do. With my grandson. Just to make it clear.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Did I leave that out?
You sick old man.
It's all right.
Sorry.
At any rate, so Benny Munguia from, ready, drum roll, South Padre Island, Texas. Who do you know from South Padre Island?
You.
That man.
This
right
guy
there.
right here.
Yeah. South Padre. You know, you're the only person that I have ever known, met, or been in touch with and seen from South Padre Island.
I actually have a cousin that lives in South Padre.
Okay.
You
I
You
was
have-
born and raised here, but once I moved down to the valley, I was like, South Padre, I can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, I was kind of looking for a nice, deep, dark Hawaiian tan, but I'm not seeing that right now.
Easy.
Just saying.
Yeah, I haven't been around home for months.
Are you on the road with Jeep all the time?
For the last couple months, yes. So it's been an interesting tour, I would say.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know that on the road that you have to read about your company a lot because there's been lots of changes with Stellantis here in the past month and a half or so. They fired Louis Prima, and he's gone, and now we got somebody from the U.S. of A. heading things up.
All right.
And we are really excited because I think that the turnaround is going to be jaw-dropping in the coming months.
Yes.
They've already made announcements regarding advertising, the whole new push. It's going to be good. But in the meantime and in between time, Camp Jeep. Why is it that everybody comes over here and wants to? Because this is not the only ride and drive, if you want to call it that. This is not the only one.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of them, outdoors, indoors, but always Camp Jeep. Why?
Yeah, it's just a unique looking obstacle
Course.
illusion that you're looking at, but it's not an illusion, of course, but it's something that it's rare that you get to see in auto shows.
Describe what it is.
What it is an experience for people to come over, and you're getting specs, you're getting knowledge as well as going obstacles, as like going over the breakover where you have your wheel up in the air and they explain it why. And
So the passengers go with the professional driver, or do
Right.
the folks drive it themselves?
they go with the professional driver.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Are you one of the professional drivers?
I used to be. I still do it here and there when I want to have fun.
Scare the you-know-what out of the people?
Oh yeah. I've been doing it for so many years, but I love it. I love it. I mean, I can't.
So
beat
do
it.
you demonstrate things like the disconnect for the sway bar and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Disconnection of the sway bar.
And why is that important? For those that don't know, why is that important?
It's just a lot of people don't know about it. Half the people, I would say. So we explain it, how it works, how it disconnects.
And the importance of why it disconnects.
Right.
Because it keeps that other wheel on the ground
Yeah.
when typically it would not in a car or something else.
Yeah, hence the word 4x4.
Yeah.
4 wheels on the ground.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is the gain as far as inches or feet when you disconnect the sway bar?
It's, I believe, 33 inches or so.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a good drop, but it helps when you're going in angles, so you don't have that tire up in the air, so you have more control.
Yeah. Now, are all of these vehicles over there, are they all Jeep Wranglers?
No, we got Wranglers. We do also have Gladiators and the Grand Cherokees.
Now, does the Gladiator also have an option, I would assume, detachable sway bar?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so the Gladiator is just like a Wrangler is just a truck with a 5-foot bed in the back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I've read, and we've actually had them, and we've talked about it. It is not just a truck bed on the back of a Wrangler. It is designed as the truck. It does not you just don't pick the body up off of it and move it over to the Wrangler.
Right. Yeah, it's very similar to it. It's just a little bit more extension to it, but it does quite a bit just about the same, even though it's a little bit a longer wheelbase.
Right.
So it does feel just a little different.
Yeah.
Just a little different.
So what are they going to experience? You said I see there's something like an incline and access egress down a hill. You've got bumps and things to go over.
Yeah, so we have we got our 18-foot high hill. Obviously, that's the most attractive thing you could see, with 35-degree angles on it. Obviously, we have 4x4 all the way around the track, 4x4 low. We also have the what we call the breakover. That's where we actually show the disconnection of the sway bar. So it shows you the stretching.
The articulation of it.
Yeah, the articulation of the front suspension.
Is this size typical of what you do at other shows, or is this larger, smaller? Is it average?
It's about average.
Average?
Same. Yeah. We do have different type of hills. We have a smaller hill and we have a bigger hill. Fortunately, it doesn't fit in here because it's a pretty big,
Pretty
tall hill.
Yeah.
So Jeep people, I can see Jeep people are going to pretty well know what you're talking about when you start talking about disconnecting sway bars. But what about somebody that's pretty new? I mean, do they seem to kind of grasp what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's that's kind of one of the big points that we do is trying to explain people about what this is and what this does and what this other thing does. And, as far as like sway bar, axle locks,
and then you can kind of show them the result of doing that because of your setup over here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, different type of trim levels. There's Rubicon, Saharas, there's sports. So
it's interesting because I think back on the beginning of the civilian-style Jeep when it first came on the market. It was pretty much just a mimic of the military, but it had a few more options on it. But you still had to get out and go to the lockers up front to get them to lock. You don't have to do any of that anymore.
Yeah,
all of it's done from the driver's seat, and it's all electronic, and it works really well.
Yeah. It's excellent. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's pretty lazy nowadays. So you just push a button, So
right.
But
and the other thing that I did want to mention, and I'll mention it in my review, is the fact that the new infotainment system, and we're going to talk about the info part of the infotainment system, especially when it comes to the upper end Wranglers. Not only are you able to control all of the different functions of the four-wheel drive, you can actually see it on the display what you're doing.
Yes,
it shows you that, and that's a relatively new thing.
Yeah,
and it's kind of evolved over the past few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome just to see that, and shows you what degrees you're doing, and vertically, horizontally. It's a great feature. Now they have like different screens nowadays, so it shows you more clarity.
The roll angle, the yaw, all of the stuff that you hear in the space shuttle. Yeah.
Pitch. There you go.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Houston style, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing too. Why would you need a Jeep Wrangler, a 392 in Houston, Texas, that's flat as a board?
Because you can.
Because you can.
Because you can.
And the 392 is just a little overkill, I think, for rock crawling.
Yeah.
But it sure does go fast on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about in Houston, Texas.
Get to the rocks quicker.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Well, here, I think it's mostly about the beach. And you see so many guys with 4x4s, and in particular the Wranglers at the beach. dune crawling, and you know all about that down at South Padre Island.
Oh yeah.
They probably have courses down there, don't
And
they?
clubs.
They have a little bit of. I think Houston has more clubs than we have down there.
Right, but as far as courses are concerned,
Yeah. If usually you could just find
it, yeah. Because
some tracks around
I
there.
mean, from my knowledge,
Yeah.
that you can't go too deep into the dunes because then the Parks and Wildlife Department will get after you.
Right,
Because you
right.
don't want to tear that up and mess that
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that somewhere down there that you haven't discovered yet, there's got to be a closed course that they can manipulate the sand so you can do your thing in your new Wrangler.
I've
Yeah.
got a friend of mine, acquaintance that actually belongs to a club, and they go out to West Texas. They go to Moab. You know, they have big events out there as well, and they've all got custom fiberglass, all this other stuff on there.
Now,
But,
Jeep goes out to Moab.
Oh yeah,
They're big
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, they have a Jeep Safari down. Up
Absolutely.
there,
You ever been
which
on
is-
that?
Yeah, I have. I've been there twice or 3 times, I believe, and it's incredible just to see thousands and thousands of Jeeps, and you got Willys and 1942s, and you have like
Yeah.
these little clubs and all these
spotters
fixed
and all
up.
that.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Well, I will tell you that years ago I belonged to an organization, I won't name which one it is, Mars knows, that we were relegated to a very elevation-savvy ranch. And it was always so much fun to take that Wrangler on the hill climb part of it. It wasn't a huge elevation. But I will tell you, you had to be pretty savvy. We've also been up on a mountaintop where you have to have spotters because otherwise, if you didn't have a spotter, you could roll off that mountain real easily.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff gets pretty serious.
Yeah.
And these guys that customize their Wranglers, you're going, oh my God, how much money you got in that thing?
But the thing I think about, and they talk about, when you're on one of these trails, and there's 4 or 5 or a group or your club is out there, and you break, how are you going to get back? How are you going to pull your rig out of there? That's always a question that concerns me to do that.
Well, that would be your winch.
Well,
Yeah.
a winch, but how long is it going to take to get you out of there? If you're deep
Well,
back in that,
If you're
area.
stuck in there and your Jeep's broke down, you don't care how long it takes to get out, as long as you get out.
all right,
And you can call a record.
okay.
And we've witnessed that.
Yeah,
We had somebody that went down in the riverbed, and they said, stay close to the shore. Did they? No. Put it right down in the deep part of the river. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
They pulled it out, cleaned out, dried out. The air cleaner element started right up.
Yeah.
Away they went.
I mean, the good thing now too is that they have a front camera that you can use.
Yes, I saw that.
And even if it gets muddy or wet or whatever you want to call it, and there's a little spray on it so it can wash off the mud, so
Yeah,
you can
camera
actually
washer.
still see everything in front of you, which is that's a great idea.
You're talking about, they go to West Texas and they go to North Texas. So apparently there's a lot of stuff up in Oklahoma as well, but it's such a difference that, like Don said, the few times that we've been able to go someplace besides the sand and the flat Texas here on the coast, rock climbing is just a totally different thing.
Experience,
And, yeah, and it's the first couple of times I did it, I was pretty impressed that the Jeep would do it, because I didn't think it would. And these guys, oh no, go on up there, you don't have to worry about it.
So y'all started Wednesday, correct? You loaded in and started Wednesday?
right, correct.
So has it been more guests coming or less, or on average for folks visiting?
It's been pretty average. Obviously today's Saturday, so hopefully it'll pick up
take
a
right
lot
off
more.
on
Oh, yeah, this afternoon's
Oh,
going to
yeah,
be nuts.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. And let's not forget that you've got the big guns across the way over at NRG Stadium
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
with the trucks.
Monster truck.
show,
Yeah.
yeah. We can't compete with those. So
Yeah, you can. Just
Well-
run underneath them.
The fun part about this weekend is that you've got the monsters across the street. And if you want to make a weekend of automotive, so to
Yeah.
speak, this is the place.
Yep.
NRG. Yeah.
One thing that 392's got, it's got a performance exhaust button, makes it considerably louder, more performance.
Right.
If you wanted to compete with the monsters, you could go in there and get a Sawzall and cut the mufflers and the cats off of the Jeeps, as you're going
Don't give
around.
anybody any
boy.
ideas, Mars.
I'm just thinking.
I think that's against the law.
Yeah.
But we're inside the building.
Well,
you're not
you're-
on the street.
Okay. Well, that's
You're
great. I'm
breaking
sure
the
the
law.
Houston Police Department appreciates you talking about
Yeah,
catalytic
I saw a
converter
couple
being
of- Just saying.
sawzalled
Saw a
off.
couple of sheriffs walking through here, just eyeballing you.
Okay, so to let everybody know, if you come out, which we hope that you do, to experience the Houston Auto Show, that when you enter the front of the building, go all the way to the right back quarter. And that's where we are, and that's where Camp Jeep is.
Yes, sir.
Can't miss it.
You got hot dogs over there?
I wish we did. I'm hungry.
Well, there's right over there is the concession booth. They
tell you
got
what,
hot dogs.
We got donuts back here. You want to grab a donut?
Yeah, there's always
Yeah,
that.
that's the best we got today.
Benny, thanks so much for joining us
thank
today.
you, gentlemen, so
Appreciate
much.
it.
It's always,
You
it's
betcha.
always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to let
Appreciate
Mike
you
take a
guys.
ride.
Of course, anytime.
And you got to be 44 inches tall to get on there.
Yeah, so I think he's high.
Yeah, she's checking you.
Yep, sure is.
Got it. Benny, thanks again. We
Be
appreciate
careful.
you.
Donna,
Thank
come
you,
over there
sir.
just so you can check him, see how tall he is.
Just ahead, a review of the Jeep Wrangler 392 and Jeff's Motor Minute. Right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Hey, you can catch the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on InWheelTime.com and the Odyssey radio app. Or check us out on the video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider, including SiriusXM. Okay, let's do the Jeep Wrangler review.
Can we hold off on that for one moment? Let me do mine first because we're going to hook a cable up.
Whatever you want.
Okay,
You
so
know
the
what?
Motor Minute.
I'm
The Motor
only
Minute.
along here for the ride.
Okay, the Motor Minute. Wanna do it?
You're going to do it now, or
Right now.
we're going
Right
to
now.
hook a
And
cable up first?
We're going to hook a cable up for that as well. But the Motor Minute is, guess what's happening at 9 o'clock this morning? They announced the Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
Oh, they did.
Hot Rod Tour of Texas is officially open for your tickets, for your passenger tickets, your hotels, the route. Everything's going on for that Motor Minute, or for my Motor Minute, for the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. April 24th,
I believe.
Yep. And it's going to be great.
It starts down in Victoria, and it's going to make its way up to and through Houston, and it's going to wind up in Madisonville this year.
But
So-
that information's online, Hot Rod Tour of Texas. You can get it going, and we'll see you there. Okay, you're on.
Did you get your cable hooked
Got
up?
my cable hooked up.
All right. Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2024 Jeep Wrangler 392. And if you're watching on video, and you can see it on the screen right here.
Because I got a cable.
Because he's got a cable now. That's what it was. Okay, I get it. Okay, so the Jeep Wrangler comes in many different trim levels. It's built in Toledo, Ohio, All-American, USA. It comes in the Sport S, the Willys, Rubicon, the Sport RHD, the Sahara, the Rubicon X, and the Rubicon 392. I had the four-door Rubicon 392. This is considered a small SUV. This is the final edition 4x4 for this particular 392. 5 seats, exterior changes updated for 2024. This is the 4th gen that was all new in 2018, called the JL for those Jeepers out there that go by JLs. Exterior features, this one in particular had the bulging hood with air scoop and the 392 emblem on either side. It looked good. Painted fenders on this particular one. Not all Jeep Wranglers have painted fenders. This one does. Factory winch that is installed atop a custom bumper for this thing. Removable doors, as are all Wranglers. Fold-down windshield and power cloth top on the one that I had. I think that you can also get the hard top. What I liked, the 17x8 beadlock wheels with 37-inch knobby tires on it. It was bad. And I think that can I say this?
You can.
I think it broke the tires loose at one of my little demonstrations that I had for myself to see what it would do.
Backing out of the driveway.
Shut up, Mars.
Research.
What?
Research. You were doing research.
No, that's what you do. I was tearing it up. What could use improvement? Well, this is a Jeep Wrangler. This is not a Lincoln Continental. I don't think they make that anymore, but whatever. So the wind and the tire noise is to be dealt with, but this is not something that you're going to take on the highway to Aunt Mary's up in Portland, Oregon. I don't think. Maybe you will, but
You could just take the back roads.
Not at my age.
no, because this vehicle is a purpose-built off-roader. Interior highlights. 12.3-inch touchscreen, which is new in 24 with the Uconnect system. Works great. 392 embroidered shout-out on the front seat backs, and both fronts are powered. In other words, you can move them with the ease of electricity.
Flick of a switch.
Off-road controls right on the center stack or on the console. Very easy to use. High upright seating front and rear so you can see where you're going over those rocks and hill climbs. Cargo and trunk room is small when compared to other SUVs because, remember, this is an SUV. What I liked, the built-in air compressor, which is, by the way, a $2,000 option.
Whoa, that's
and it's
cool,
on
though.
the swing gate on the back. It's built in back there.
Kind of neat how
So-
they did that. It
yeah.
didn't take up much room.
And
It
there's your
doesn't take
Moab.
you much room at all. And if you happen to puncture a tire on one of your rock crawls, you get out there and put your juice in it and blow it back up.
Or, yeah, change it.
This is the ultimate off-roader that has on-road manners, which is kind of surprising. But the wheel travel on this makes those bumps and undulations on the state highways, makes them go away. 6.4-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine that has 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque, and it's all four wheels for an 8-speed automatic transmission. Are you pointing at me for
No,
a
I was
reason?
just
No,
looking-
he's just.
I'm just looking at the Jeep.
Yeah. I was
The
trying
Maroni.
to tell him about the push button on the exhaust when you were talking about the horsepower
It has
and how
that.
it ran.
Yeah, it does. It does have a thing. And I thought, where is this thing? So I called Mars. He says, it's on the dash. And I looked down there, and there's this little symbol in a row of buttons down there. And on it are dual exhausts.
Oh, yeah.
That's the button. And it starts up open. And
Really?
Then after a couple of seconds, then it closes back down and sounds great. The neighbors don't like it, let me put it that way.
Yeah, you don't sneak home at 2 o'clock in the
But
morning.
if you would like to have that sound all the time, press that button, a little yellow thing comes on, you can hear it start to grumble. Then put it on the street right there in front of your house with the neighbors and all,
Chirp
and
it.
floor it.
Yeah.
That works real well. Tows up to 5,000 pounds, 13 miles per gallon city, 16 highway. Hey, what did you expect? It's a 392 hot rod.
There you go.
You didn't
Combined-
buy it for fuel economy.
Correct. Yeah, combined, it gets 14 miles to the gallon. I am bragging at 15.0 miles per
bragger.
gallon.
You're
Yeah.
a
Over
bragger.
397.4 miles.
I got 15.
What did Mars get?
I have no
Mars
12.
didn't get doodly squat.
Marv's got a ticket.
No, I think I got.
Did you
I
get a
think-
ticket?
No. I got lots of looks.
I
didn't
hope
get a
Kimberly
ticket.
Schultz is listening to this.
Yeah, it's your review, not mine.
Yeah. Well, I'm calling you out, sir.
Oh, boy.
What I liked about the whole thing, scary fast power. Nothing could use improvement there unless you want to do more horsepower and burn off those expensive knobby tires on it.
Oh, boy.
Ride and handling, more compliant from the suspension, more compliant than you would expect, actually. What could use improvement? Well, it depends on your outlook on what is rough and what is compliant. It's up to you, really. Okay, here comes the fun part. The base trim price on the Wrangler 392 is $91,545. And we have our next guest here, and we're going to talk about Lincolns, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Are you the Lincoln guy?
he's the Lincoln.
He's the
guy.
Lincoln guy. Price is tested $108,475. You probably have something in your lineup that's comparable, don't you? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Just
Thanks for
checking.
playing.
Just checking your knowledge. Base model price. So you can get in a Wrangler, a cheapie, for $33,890, and that's not
bad.
cheap.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I know. So the price difference. Think of this: base bottle price $33,890. The price is tested $108,475.
Well, a lot of that
Is the knobbies.
It's the engine, and then you got some suspension, and you got bigger tires and wheels. Even for the Rubicon, it's a bump up. It's it was fun to drive though.
There you go.
It was. So competitors: Ford Bronco starts at $39,630. Land Rover Defender, which doesn't surprise me because it starts at $56,400. And then the Toyota 4Runner, $40,705 is the starting price for that.
I think that's
But-
more of a passenger.
But I mean,
daily.
you can't. How do you compare this to any of those? You really can't compare it.
No,
6.4 liter V8, yeah. Super B motor in it, yeah, buddy. I'm there, and that's the Motor Minute. All right,
It's your review.
it's your
It's
review.
your
I did the
review.
I did the. Do you need a cable?
no, I don't
I got
need
an
a
extra
cable.
cable
You
for you.
obviously didn't do your job like
Well,
Mars didn't do his
We
job.
were focused on your
Uh-huh.
still shots, is what we were doing.
Is that what it was? Well, we're not even sure that we're going to use the still.
Welcome
shots.
to our family, young man.
You know, we try to do good, but it just doesn't
It's better
work
than
out.
evil.
This is kind of like a car club meeting on Friday nights with that great big wash tub and ice full of beer.
Oh yeah,
That's what it's like.
we got
That's what's
donuts.
missing.
And don't tell me that you've never been to one of those, because I can see the look in your face and the smile. He's going, oh, yeah.
he's the one that's
They
got the
drugged me
bucket.
into this, and we're going to talk to him. I don't even know your name, but I can see your face.
He's got a bucket.
That's all that matters.
Give him a cable.
Yeah, get him a cable. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Back after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
From the open roads to the open waters,
Your adventure starts at the Houston Automotive Show at NRG Center. 1 ticket, 2 shows. Check out top cars, trucks, sport boats, fishing boats, and more. New designs, new technology, and everything in between. Spectacular experiences, amazing fun. There's something for everyone. Get your friends, get your family, and get your tickets now. The Houston Automotive Show, making waves and fueling adventures.
This is the only place to go for all things automotive, the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we're going to have another guest from today's show. By the way, we're coming to you from the 42nd Annual Houston Auto Show. Mars, I think you were here for the first one, and you were 40 then, so that makes you 82 now. Is that right?
He was. There was a display of Conestoga wagons in the corner.
In the back corner,
the back corner.
But, so what you need to do is ask Don, since Don's older than I am,
Oh.
what was here before that?
The Conestoga wagons. There was
Caesar.
that.
Caesar and his horses.
Also
The
coming
chariots.
up, Jeff's going to have the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin. Our chief engineer, David Ainsley, got out of bed this morning. Didn't brush his hair, but he made it here, and he's our chief engineer. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day to get out and really enjoy it. Clear skies overhead. We've had a week of horrible weather here, and
Several
it's
weeks.
time.
Yeah.
Well, this particular past week. It's time now to get out, enjoy, and have fun. Air
Yes,
conditioned.
and this is a good place to
Yeah.
do it, too.
So half of the arena, the NRG Center, is loaded up with cars. The other half loaded up with boats. And so you get a 2-for-1 here.
Yep.
Or a BOGO, as the girls call it.
A what?
A BOGO.
Buy one, get one.
Buy one, get one. So you buy a ticket.
And
Yeah.
you get it.
And not only do you get to the automotive show, but you
you
also get the boats as well.
You betcha.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the twofer.
Are you?
Okay.
Okay, well, you just do that.
You
So
do
our
that.
guest now in the remote studio here of the In-Wheel Time Broadcasting Mega Center is Jack's son, Jeff Nicholson.
There you go.
And Jeff is from West Point Lincoln. I was going to say West Point Lincoln Mercury, but I think that brand went away a few years ago.
It definitely did.
It did.
Definitely.
You're too young to know that. But, yeah, so now it's just West Point Lincoln.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And Lincoln's back.
Definitely.
Yeah. How many models of vehicles do you now have?
We have 4.
They are?
The Corsair, Nautilus, Aviator, and Navigator in that order from small to big.
Okay.
Oh.
I like that little one.
Yeah.
I like that little. Is that the biggest seller for you, or is it the Navigator?
The Navigator.
And the
for
Navigator, of course, it is.
Sure. Yes.
I'll
No.
tell you what. The last time it's been a while since I had one, but the seats in that Navigator, oh my God! It's
Yeah.
like you took that leather, your favorite leather chair that you watch TV and game with, and put it in a vehicle. Ooh, it's comfy. So where do you want to start? What's down there in the West Point? Well, it's actually the Lincoln booth. I assume that you're just manning it today.
Yes, sir. I'm.
You're not trying to sell cars down there. You are a product expert.
He's an educator.
Yes, definitely.
Well, in our language, it's educator. But that's
Edumacator.
okay. All right.
Oh, all right.
So Jeff, where do you want to start?
Well, so we have the 2025 Navigator over there on display. It is open for everybody to look at, sit in, play with. And we do have some salespeople over there that will be happy to answer any questions, even me as well. We're not going to push you to sell for anything. We're just going to give you some product knowledge and make sure that you have a great time at the Automotive and Boat
And
Show.
so obviously, to me, in my mind, the main competitor is the Chevy Suburban, the Cadillac Escalade, as I like to call it, and the GMC version of it,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
And when you do your product review, if you will, for somebody that's looking at it, do you compare? Do you say, well, our vehicle does this and has this and priced this way, and if you're comparing it to the Navigator and comparing that with the Cadillac Escalade, here's what you're going to find in our vehicle. Do you do that?
Yes.
Because I want to know that.
Gotcha.
Because if I'm shopping the Navigator, I'm shopping the Escalade too.
Definitely. Yeah.
Aren't they priced competitively?
They are. The price of the 25 Navigator did go up a little bit, but it starts at $100,000 and goes up from there. But it definitely is very, very comparable, or even better than the Escalade, as you call it.
Well, and because I want to know that thing, you know, and we tout on the show the really nice part about the Houston Auto Show is the fact that you can learn all of these things and compare these vehicles in one venue. I don't have to drive out to West Point and then go down the way to the Cadillac dealership. Plus, I don't have to have that sales pressure put on me. I want to come here and I want to find out about it. And that's the really cool thing to me about it. As long as I've been coming to it, which has been at least 55 years, because Conestoga wagons, you know, that's the nice thing about it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it here. We have a ride and drive outside for the
Oh, you
25
do?
Nautilus. Yes.
Oh, for the Nautilus?
Yes, sir.
And where does the Nautilus fit in? Is it underneath the Navigator?
So it is underneath the Aviator. It is our mid-size two-row
The midsize.
SUV.
Yeah.
So
Seems to me that would, well, that and the smaller one would be inching up on sales, probably because of the price for one, and what you get in it, because now you're competing with things like Jaguar,
yes.
Yeah.
correct?
Porsche.
Jaguar, Porsche, Cadillac, Volvo, all of them.
Yeah,
And let's not forget Buick.
Buick. Oh, yeah, Buick's creeping up for sure.
because he owns the dang Buick. That's why. So
Don't
there's
feel
that.
bad. It used to be Cadillac.
Yeah.
Now it's Buick.
That's Buick.
That's Buick.
Could be Lincoln.
Could be Lincoln.
It could be.
Definitely. You
We're
should
good.
definitely come check us out.
Yeah, down there at West Point. Where is West Point?
West Point is off of I-10 in Kirkwood.
Right.
Okay.
So we also do have a Sugarland location, which is 59, roughly around West Airport area. So, and it's very nice down there. It's right next to the old Texas Direct Auto that used to be down there.
Right.
So
That's right. Yes, I know exactly where you are.
And which one are you at?
I am at the Kirkwood location in I-10.
Yeah.
So,
Well, business should be pretty good out there.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are the energy corridor of Houston. So,
Exactly.
And we got all those people coming
Now, do you
through.
live out there?
I live in Richmond.
Oh, not
Oh
far.
my God!
Well, it's not far. It's
far
really
enough.
not far.
On I-10.
Yeah, I-10 in Kirkwood. You
What
just-
time are you supposed to be at work every day?
9:30.
So you get up at
9:30.
4.
So he's at the tail end. So he's at the tail end of morning drive.
Yeah, and he's walking in with his tie, go like that. He goes,
Gotta make sure it looks spiffy. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. How long
sometimes
you been? How long have you been in car business?
Almost 7 years. Almost
Really?
7 years. Yes.
And did you raise your hand to get in the car business? Where did you start?
I started at AutoNation. I wanted a car
Because
salesperson.
that was me.
Yeah.
Because I was in high school, I wanted to be in the service department.
Gotcha.
Because I was in new car make ready at a place called Richardson Chevrolet. It doesn't exist anymore. But so I worked at a very, very busy Chevy dealer,
Nice.
and they sold a ton of Chevys.
Definitely.
And so I started new car make ready, washing, getting cars ready to go out to the customer that just bought it.
Nice.
And then graduation came along. I thought, you know what? I want to get into the service side. So I was a service advisor. They sent me to GM training school. Learned a few things there and got skated on by all of the other people that were in the service department.
Yep.
And that didn't work out too well for me, but I learned a lot. And it was an interesting thing. It's not that way anymore. Dealerships are a lot different than they were back then. And the very successful ones, they got their act together. They know what they're doing. They have a lot more tools in the sales department. I mean, you got computers. You can shop what you're selling. You can shop around, see what other people are asking for.
Yeah.
It's an interesting market today, and to go into a new car dealership is an experience.
Mine first was a service writer at a Cadillac dealership in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And that was when you had 5 copies, press hard, to all the service writers, all the parts and things like that. Now you're getting to your computerized. So vast differences. And it didn't take long to get to the computer age.
But that's not where you started. You started on an assembly line.
Well, I started for, I worked for Fisher Body in the car industry on an assembly line. But so far as public and dealerships was the Cadillac dealership.
Did you have somebody paved the way to get in there?
I went to high school with a guy. His dad was the GM, and he worked in service, and they needed somebody else in service, so I applied and got it.
Nice.
So we rode together, high school, and all that stuff.
Yeah. That was kind of like me. I had a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So you didn't have a friend in the car business. You just went for it yourself.
Yep, I just went straight for it and said, hey, I want to work. I went straight into work, and I was like, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, you seem like a very approachable kind of guy.
Thank you.
So if I was going to buy a car, I'd rather buy it from you
Oh, thank you.
than some old gray-haired fart that is like, curmudgeon that's been in the car business all his life. Yeah, what do you want? You want one of those? Yeah, we got a couple of them out there in the back lot. You want to go take a look at them, see if you like something?
Sign this.
Sign right here. You want to drive it? You really want to drive it?
And speaking of that, we keep saying sign it and sign it. When I bought my vehicle, they gave me USB as all the documents. They don't hand you paper anymore, an envelope. They give you one of these. They give you a flash drive with all your documents on it. That's it. That's all your paper.
Well, what do you sign?
You sign electronically on the computer.
Yeah.
You just sign the screen.
With your finger?
With your finger or toe, whatever you want to sign it with, nose, and then they give you the flash drive at the end. Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yes.
That's the way you
See
do
there?
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's technology.
Definitely.
5 copies, press
this index finger doesn't work the same as a pen. And that signature on there, it's
I
like,
know.
whose
I
is
know.
that? Oh, that's mine with a finger. Doesn't work. So
that?
how is? Oh, look at there. That's your granddaughter.
Yeah, my
oh,
granddaughter.
And there's your wife.
Yeah, and there's Donna.
Look, they made it in. They let you guys in this place. We told them not to, so somebody didn't do their job. But it's good to see you. Yeah,
She's wearing her A&M
Texas
shirt.
A&M.
Yeah,
Yes,
you see
I
that?
remember my daughter went to Alabama.
Uh-oh. Got a rivalry.
Yeah, there's that. So that's another story for a different day.
Yeah.
Anyway, how is inventory at your dealership?
We have a bunch of inventory to get rid of. All of our cars, we have like 50 to 80 navigators. We just
Really?
Yeah. So we're trying to get rid of them. We do have 0% for 72 months, or for 84 months, it's 1.9.
Are they offering any kind of show specials? If you come back to our dealership, we'll give you X amount off, or come see Jeff.
No, but
and
they
then-
will give you a free tote bag.
Tote bag. Yes.
Tote bag.
Tote bag.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Those are ones that he stole from the other manufacturers. From the Kia. Here, let me go out to the car and open the trunk. I got one for
No
you
wonder
for the
he's
Jeep people.
He's a Kia for a week.
Oh, my God. You know,
We'll
your,
get you in trouble.
your boss is going to get this, and he's going to go, what the
Oh,
hell did
no.
they do to my poor salesman? They're going to, Jeff, can I see you in my office?
But see, he's
But
coming
I
back.
didn't do it. It wasn't my fault.
It
I'm
was
so
that-
sorry.
He was that old guy, Mike.
Yeah, these are old people. I couldn't help it. They run me out of there. I hadn't.
Well, he's got to be doing something right. He came back. He's still there. He's still with West Point.
So do you
there
have?
go.
So do you? And where does that fit in the lineup?
That
is
is
that
our-
second from the bottom?
It's a yes.
So under that, so it would be the middle one.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. And why is it your favorite?
Honestly, because it's rear-wheel drive. I love rear-wheel drive vehicles and all-wheel drive capability. That thing is just fun to drive. 400 horsepower.
Really?
Twin-turbo V6. Yes.
Is it the twin turbo V6?
Yes. 3-liter twin-turbo V6.
That's a lot. 400 horsepower.
Definitely.
Yeah, out of that little V6.
Definitely.
Hey, Mr. Mars,
Yes, sir.
if you'd look down here, we're going to send all of our viewers that are out here today.
To
They're
see
going
you.
to
Thank
come
you.
see you.
Perfect. Yeah.
And forget everybody else in your display. They're coming. Gang of people around you.
How many folks do you have there?
We have coming.
Gotcha.
So we're going to
Relief.
make sure that we have everybody
You
here.
need some pins to sign the autographs?
No, not yet. We have a bunch of custom Lincoln pins that one of our salesmen did create.
Okay.
So
Do I get one of those?
Yeah,
Definitely.
bring
I
some
can get
down.
you
All right, yeah.
We'll use them in the studio. How's that?
definitely.
That's it. Hey, just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History. And I'll have this week's auto news headlines coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Back in a flash.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was trying to play a commercial here, but I don't think that you had turned up the commercial here, so for us, everybody to hear. You ready? I know that you are.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flameado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the In-Wheel Time and Odyssey radio apps. Download them to your phone when you get a minute. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show can be had.
They're going to go on the streaming side, so it's not going to be an NBC thing constantly through the season. They're going to have to buy a subscription to get on some streamer to do that. That's one complaint.
No.
The complaint I have is last week was IMSA. IMSA racing was last week, and it was the 24-hour of Daytona. And it was all advertised. NBC's going to have the final 6 hours. You had to get on streaming. You had to get on streaming. So IMSA, I'm not happy with you. All right, then we've got Soapbox Derby done. North Florida Soapbox Derby practice, February 8th. That's next week. Is coming up, so get your soap, get your box, get off the.
I don't mind streaming.
I don't either.
I don't mind that. That I don't have to pay extra for,
Well,
because I'm not doing it.
No.
Matter of fact, I am a huge NHRA fan.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not on something that I can get like on Roku or the regular broadcast,
Yeah.
I'm not going on it. I'm not doing it. I'm cutting stuff. All right, Mr. Morris.
All right.
This week in auto history, besides me.
Yeah, buddy. So this week in auto history, back in 1917, and I did not know this, Ford
remember it
begins
well.
production. Well, then you probably drove one of these. They began building the Fordson tractor. Now, I bring it up because this was one of the first affordable tractors.
Did you call it Fordson?
Fordson, F-O-R-D-S-O-N.
Fordson tractor. Okay.
Introduced in 1917, it really changed the way that farmers could do, because it actually ended up replacing the horse-pulled plow. Had a 20-horsepower four-cylinder engine. It was lightweight, all metal, including the wheels. And it was actually produced in the United States, the UK, and in Ireland up until 1964. And it really changed things as far as agriculture and industrial machinery goes. Now, also this week in 1930, Cadillac introduced the V16 engine. Now, this was one of the first V16 engines produced. It was a 7.4 liter, that's 452 cubic inch engine with 165 horsepower. It was really had a lot of accolades for how well it ran, how smooth it ran, and for the refinement. So it was coming up into the Depression, so it kind of limited sales. Didn't take it, and they didn't build it real long.
I
They
tried
did
to mount
build-
one of those on my lawnmower one time. It just didn't quite fit.
No, I
But
can
by
see
the
that.
way, Mr.
But
Morris, I
maybe-
just want you to know that the video stream has stopped working, so this is just an audio thing.
And I've been working on that, and I have a message for Jeff as soon as I get through with my
And what is it?
segment
Is it
here.
a hand signal? Because
He
I
needs-
know what that hand signal is. Here it is, right here.
Yeah. So, but what you could do, Don, go back to your lawnmower, maybe get the 431 cubic inch V16 that came out in 1938. That might fit a little bit better. So, also this week in 1955, General Motors introduced the legendary small block Chevrolet
265.
265. That's correct. Had up to 180 horsepower. And really what makes this significant, because for the 55, 56, 57, I mean, those were some classics that Chevrolet built with a small block. They made the engines bigger, and it really changed, particularly hot rodding and the way that we look at things like that. Also, this week in 1958, the first Toyotas were sold in the United States. Now, they came into the market with the Toyopet Crown. I think that's how you say it.
Let me see that.
Toyopet.
Let me see that. Where? Toyopet. Toyopet Crown.
This was the,
Oh, well, that's close enough.
It was the precursor to a Chia Pet.
A Chia Pet.
That,
That's
that
it.
came much later. That was the second generation.
This was the Japanese version
Oh,
of the
Chia
Chia
Pet.
Pet.
Right.
This is the Toyo Pet.
Okay.
So
Got it.
this model was the Crown. It had a 1.5 liter four-cylinder engine. It had 60 horsepower. And it was very durable, but it was kind of a sluggish because of the weight of the vehicle. Now, they only sold 287 units before they stopped selling this vehicle in 1961. But then they came back in 1965 with the Toyota Corona. Not Corolla, the Corona.
The Corona. That was a cigar.
It was a beer.
Or beer. So, anyway, they felt this was better suited for American roads, and that began Toyota's long-term success. I mean, they've become
Is this
really
a
major.
long? Is this a long feature that you're going to do today?
I can make it long.
I got to
I
be at
know.
work
Well,
Monday.
you're doing that already.
So that's this week in automotive history.
Thank God. Get back to trying to get our video stream back up, would you?
I'm working on it.
All right. I got some stories. We're making news headlines this week. Tesla will finally launch